Yo guys, what's going on? My name is AD, the RPA guy, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the 4 ways that you can go about getting employed in the tech industry, okay? As you can see, those 4 ways are self-study, college, traditional boot camp, and mentorship program. As you all may or may not know, RPA University is a luxury boutique mentorship program, and in this video, you're going to see what sets us apart from everyone else. And you'll be able to tell based on what attributes you're looking for, how much money you're looking to invest, how fast you're trying to make your transition into tech happen. You'll be able to determine which of these 4 routes is most efficient for you. Now, let's start down here at the outcome. This is super, super important, guys. Anytime that you want to achieve anything, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is my outcome? It is almost impossible to hit a target that you can't see, okay? Or that you don't know what it is, especially if it's moving. So I would suggest to you that your outcome should be get employed in tech, okay? And secondly, stay employed in tech. If you've seen my other videos, I have one that talks about the 4 steps to get into tech or how to get into tech in 2024. The 4 steps that I tell each and everybody is, you must first learn a tech skill, okay? Get your digital footprint right. This is your resume and anything that comes up when Google search your name, your LinkedIn and things like that. Then you must get the appropriate social and interview skills to get the job done. And then finally, you need to actually acquire the job or go in the process of acquiring the job. These skills right here, you're learning. This is something that you're doing, right? Because you can learn a tech skill, get your digital footprint right, get the social interview skills, but then not apply for enough jobs or not reach out to your network enough. And so the reason why the outcome of get employed is important is obviously because you want to get employed. The outcome should be income. But secondly, why stay employed is important is because so many people will say, screw the technical skill. I'll just fake it till I make it. I'll act like I know something. And then I'll just focus on getting my footprint right. I'll get these social interview skills. I'll apply for a lot of jobs and I'll get it. And then they will get the job, but it's short term because then they'll turn around and lose that job in 6, 9, or 12 months because they didn't actually take the time to learn a technical skill. So do not do that, guys. I do not recommend it. That is short-term thinking. We want to get the job and stay at the job, okay? Now, that being said, let's look at each of these routes. So the question that we want to ask ourselves for each of these columns is it guaranteed, if I go this route, is it guaranteed that I get a tech skill or learn a tech skill? Is it guaranteed that I get my digital footprint right? Is it guaranteed? So on and so forth. So are you guaranteed to learn a technical skill if you go the self-study route? For 99% of people, and that's what I'm going with, the law of large numbers, that's going to be a no, okay? The biggest reason why people don't actually end up learning a tech skill is because they try to learn something, they get stuck, they have no support because they paid for little to no support. They give up, try to learn another tech skill, and run into the same fucking issue. So more times than not, you're not actually guaranteed to learn the tech skill. Now, if you are a self-starter, you're super motivated, maybe you can, but for the most people, no, you are not guaranteed to learn a tech skill. Next, are you guaranteed to understand the right way to go about structuring your resume and your LinkedIn and your Google results? That's also a no, because 9 times out of 10, if you go the self-study route, you don't know what the hell you're doing, okay? Next, are you guaranteed to learn the social interview skills? Because again, you have no instructor, you have no structure, you have no support. That is a no. And then lastly, are you guaranteed to acquire the job? That is absolutely a no. This is actually the route that the most amount of people go. And the reason for that is because the dollar amount needed to invest in self-study is little to nothing. You just get on YouTube University and you don't pay for anything. You need the support. You don't fucking have it because you can pay for anything. This is why this particular route is the slowest. Okay, so next let's go to college, okay? In college, are you guaranteed to learn a technical skill? With this one, I would actually say yes. Between the instructors that are teaching it, between the TAs and the office hours, including YouTube, and if you want to do any kind of self-study, I think it is very, 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 very difficult to graduate from an institution, whether you go online or into a campus in person, to graduate without actually having learned a tech skill, okay? Now, are you guaranteed to get your digital footprint? Learn how to structure your resume, your Google, your LinkedIn? That's going to be a no. And I know this is a no because I went to a college. I have a 4-year university degree, and I've left, and I know several people who are struggling to this day, over a decade later, to get employed. And I know their resume sucks because 99% of people's resume sucks. So yes, you can go to college, but does it guarantee that you get your resume, your LinkedIn, all that good stuff right? That is a no. Next, social interviewing skills. Are you guaranteed to get this in college? That is also going to be a no. The number one way that I know someone does not have the social and interview skills necessary is they either one, won't get a job, or two, they'll get a job and stay there for 20 years. When they wanted to leave at year two, they just are too afraid to interview because they don't want to go through all that again. Okay. And then I would put the job acquisition in college. I'm still going to put that as a no. I read a report recently online that said over 500,000 people today in America are underemployed. So what that means is 500,000 people got a degree in something, and now they're working either a minimum wage job or a job that has nothing to do with what that degree was. Okay, so that is proof to me that you are not guaranteed to acquire a job in tech going the college route. Now, let's talk about investment. The investment for this is big money. Okay, we're talking $20,000 to $40,000 usually for something like college. And this one I would also say is slow, simply because it's going to take you 2 to 4 years. The only reason that I put this as slowest over this one is because you may never fucking get there either. You might just give up on yourself. But this is incredibly slow as well. I'll put an extra that one there because this is probably the most expensive route to go. And it takes the most amount of time. So for that reason, I don't typically recommend it. Now, let's move on to the traditional boot camps, right? These are the ones like the Triple Tens, the Coursera's, the Course Careers, things like that, right? Are you guaranteed to learn a technical skill there? I would go ahead and say, yeah. Like if you are actually applying yourself, you're in the courses, you're showing up to things, you're asking questions, you're using the support that's there, I think it is very hard to leave a traditional boot camp without learning a technical skill. And lots of people who hop on calls with me do say indeed that they learned a skill while they were in their boot camps. Now, are you guaranteed to learn how to structure your resume correctly? This I'm going to give a no, okay? Just simply because I've seen so many resumes, I don't even need to see your resume. People tell me, hey, I've been applying for jobs, I haven't gotten in. If I see your resume, 9 times out of 10, it sucks, okay? I've seen resumes from people who graduate these boot camps, nothing against these boot camps, but you're not guaranteed to know how to structure your resume, okay? Social and interview skills, are you guaranteed to have that? Absolutely not. Because again, the biggest gripe that I hear when people get on phone calls with me is that, yeah, they taught me the stuff, but when it came to getting the job, I was left to just figure it out on my own. So for that reason, we're also going to put an X here because you are not guaranteed to get a job. Because if you were guaranteed to get a job, then none of you guys would be on calls with me saying that I've tried 3, 4, 5 things and I've not gotten this job yet, okay? Now let's talk about speed. This one, I would say is relatively quick, okay? When I say relative, I mean relative to college. So I think, I don't know what the average is. Let's just say somewhere between 6 to 12 months of traditional boot camp stuff in order to go about pulling it off and getting the job, okay? Now the cost of investment, this one varies, obviously. I've seen this vary from like $500 to $30,000, okay? So we're gonna say the cost of investment on this one could be up or down, right? Depending on how much money you want to spend. I believe the more money you spend, the better you're going to get, but I've never done a boot camp myself, so don't listen to me on that. And so lastly, when we're talking about the tech mentorship program, we're actually going to talk about a luxury tech mentorship program. Now, let's talk about what separates a mentorship program from a boot camp. And a boot camp, you're learning from somebody. First off, you got to understand the entrepreneur who started it likely was not in tech. They likely have never worked a role in tech, and if they did, it was not a technical role in tech, okay? And then they bring all these mentors in. Some are in America, some are not. Some speak good English, some don't, right? And so it's more of like a 1-to-many. It's one instructor to 200 to 300 students type of thing, right? And RPA University, which again is a mentorship program, a luxury boutique mentorship program. By luxury, I mean it is a high quality experience. By boutique, I mean we only work with 50 people at a time, okay? And you're also working with me, someone who's been in the industry as an RPA developer, who's currently still in the industry as an RPA developer, who's been in the field and is going to help you get the same results that he's gotten, okay? So also someone who's made $1.4 million in that field over the last 5 years. Now, are you guaranteed to learn a technical skill while in a luxury mentorship bootcamp or RPA university? Okay, that answer is correct. You're guaranteed to learn. Okay. Next, your digital footprint, getting your Google right, your LinkedIn, all these things. You're guaranteed to learn that too. The way I like to run my program is I tell you exactly what to do. I tell you how to do it. If you don't do it, you get kicked out. Okay. So that's how I can guarantee that you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're going to get kicked out. So if you do the work, you are guaranteed to get your resume and your Google results and your LinkedIn structured the correct way, because it is the same way for everybody. Next, the social and interview skills. This one right here is actually the most important. This is where I spend the majority of my time with my students, is working with them to get their confidence up after they've learned the tech skill, after they've got their resume and everything in order, working with them to get their confidence up in order to actually get their social and interview skills to where it needs to be. So what we do, particularly in RPA universities, I have you go on 10 interviews. I have you record the audio, the video from these interviews. You bring it back to me. We role play, we rehearse, we get those answers better and better and better. Okay. So yes, you are guaranteed. You are guaranteed to get the social and interview skills necessary. Okay. And then as far as job acquisition goes, right? Again, I have a job acquisition system. I also have a network of recruiters that I work with in my network that I hand you off to. You are guaranteed to get a job within RPA University or within 6 months or less, or we continue to work with you until you are, okay? So you are guaranteed. And again, if you don't do what I'm telling you to do in the course, you will be kicked out. So why pay all this money and not to do it? You are guaranteed, okay? Now let's talk about the speed of RPA University. This is going to be the quickest, okay, compared to what I'm seeing in the marketplace. So this is 6 months or less. Okay, the fastest person to ever do it did it in 3 weeks, I believe. So that's where the or less comes in. But for most people, it's going to be about 6 months. Now let's talk about the cost of investment in RPA University. What I will say is that we are a luxury service. We are the Rolls Royce, the Bentley, the Bugatti of the industry. We are not cheap. Okay. Now, as of the making of this video, which is what, October 25th, the price is currently sitting at $7,500 on the low end. There's some perks, there's some benefits, there's a lot that comes if you want to go above that, but the minimum to get started today is $7,500. That number was like $300, $400, $500 in the month of February this year. The price is going to continue to go up. We will be the most expensive luxury boutique cost in the market in the near future. So if this is something that you think that you're interested in, I would highly recommend that you click the link in the video, in the description below, to see if you can get qualified for a screening call with me or one of my team members. So with that said, guys, this is the 4 different ways that you can go about getting into the tech industry. Now, which route is best for you? If you don't have a whole lot of money, right, then you may have to just start with the self-study route, right? There's nothing wrong with starting where you are. From there, if you do have quite a bit of money, if you're willing to wait 4 years and you want to go the traditional college route, you could go this route. I don't recommend it myself, right? Now, if you have a little bit of money, you have at least $1,000, maybe $2,000 or something like that, you can look at a traditional boot camp, right? And if you've got at least $7,500 or great credit, I do work with those who have great credit, you can apply for mentorship at RPA University. I am the #1 developer of RPA developers in the industry. There's no one doing what I'm doing. There's no one who's done what I'm doing. And it is the simplest technology that I've ever laid my eyes on, okay? Multiple 6-figure earners have graduated and gone on to make $100,000, $250,000, all those kind of things using RPA and RPA only. Now, enrollment will be closing soon. We're an exclusive group, only 50 people total. We have 10 spots left for the rest of this year, okay? We do not work with everybody. One thing that I told myself when I started this business is I refuse to work with people who I don't like. And if you don't like me, I recommend that you don't work with me either, okay? So if that is something that you're interested in, if you believe that I am the coach for you, then what I want you to do is somewhere in the description below here, I want you to click the link that says, see if you qualify for a screening call, okay? There'll be a list of questions you must answer. And from there, if you're qualified, you'll be able to speak to either me or one of my representatives. Outside of that, if you're like, hey, I don't really have that money at this moment, but you kind of, want to get some kind of coaching, something that can kind of get you in the right direction of where you want to go, the self-study route, There's also a link in the description that you can use to book a paid one-on-one coaching call with me, where I will literally go through each and every one of these 4 steps and tell you and point you in the right direction as to where you need to go in order to make progress on each of these, right? Usually what I tell people is book one every other week, once a month, something like that. So that way you can continue to still make progress even if you don't have, the full amount of things like that. With that said, guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. I want to know what your thoughts are. Drop a comment below. Do you agree with any of this? Do you think that I missed anything? What were your experiences like through college or a traditional boot camp, right? Or if you're already in RPA University, drop a comment below and let people know what you think of your experience thus far, right? So that being said, my name is AD, the RPA guy. I appreciate you watching this video. Till next time, peace.